Chase Lehocky here with the Blue Futon. I was not expecting to see this movie at all. The Inspection. When I saw it was in 32 screens around the country. I was on vacation, and no joke, Disney Springs had The Inspection. So I was like, you know what? I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Was it worth the time, though, to be inspected? Let's find out. So The Inspection, what's about? It's a very simple premise, actually. You have a gay black guy living in New Jersey / New York, even though I heard they're kind of almost the same. But anyway, he's 25-year-old. He's living on the streets, drugs and everything. He's like, you know what? I need to get my life together, so I'm joining the Marines. He needs to talk to his mother, who his mother despises him for being gay, to get his birth certificate. And now he's in the Marines, and now he's got to figure out, is he going to make it, or are the Marines going to just push him down? So, did I like this film? Yes. I went in this movie, I will not lie, I went in this movie terrified. Because I read the synopsis, and I go, oh God, is this going to be a military bashing movie because he's gay in the Marines? But it is not about that at all. It is more about the family element, especially his mother not liking him. Yes, the Marines realize he's gay, but they really don't care. Yes, there is a lot of hazing in this movie, and there's hazing in every branch of the military when you go to basic training, especially in that day and age. It doesn't matter if you're gay or not, there was hazing. But with this one, the story works. It is interesting. This is not a military bashing movie because overall, this director in the Marines was in Hawaii. After his basic training, he got sent to Hawaii, and that's where he did his journalism as well as like filming career. And the Marines helped him perpetuate to get a job with Hollywood and take that career path. Because if he never went into the Marines, there's a good chance he would still be in New Jersey, in New York, drugs, and maybe dead. So let me talk about the positives of this movie. I think the acting, the look of the movie can be good, but I do think there's some elements to it being a very low-budget movie where that's going to be a part of the negative, but every character involved is engaged, except one plot point. Like I said, there's two issues for me with this movie I'll talk about at the end, but I mean, technically it looks good. It's entertaining. You are in with these characters through in and throughout, and you're just like morphed into this character because you know, like, you know what? He knows he's got to do this. He knows if he goes back home, he is going to die. And he's like, the only way is for me to do something that I don't know if I can do, but it's going to whip me in shape and have me get out of the rut. And he's like, the Marines is the way to do it. So some of you might be asking, the military, don't ask, don't tell. And yes, there is a couple scenes in this movie, especially with the bathroom scene, where he visualizes all the guys naked. Something happens, and you know, a lot of guys are like, oh shit, he's got a boner and everything's happening. So, oh shit, did that happen in real life? I don't know. Did he get, beat up? I don't know. But you know what? He said, in his mind, he's like, I fucked up. Like, oh my God, now they know. Am I going to make it through this? And even the main drill sergeant's like, okay, you're gay. We're going to fuck you up almost. Not fuck you up like mentally. The drill sergeant's going to do it mentally. And there are other drill sergeants like, yo, what are you doing? We are here to make the best Marines. We don't care because it's don't ask, don't tell. The Marines could assume you're gay or see it, but you do not ask them and they do not tell. And you just say, you know what? Shut up and color. Now they got rid of it. Now you can tell. And now there's, drag queen story hour at Air Force bases now and Marine bases. And there was a new video or thing out there where there's a full burn Army colonel with a dog thing, like SMN. And I'm like, oh, we're going that extreme. Like, you're in your blues. You are in your combat, the Blue Air Force version of blues, but in the Army with your dog thing, and this is okay? Like, what the fuck are we doing? So that's not to do with this movie. But I think Gabrielle Union, Jonathan Pope, I think that's his name, just making sure I don't want to mispronounce his name. Jeremy Pope, I'm sorry. I mean, they did a great job in this movie. Even the cast members, other drill sergeants, as well as the people going through basic training. So let me talk about the basic training part. I don't know if that's how the Marines do it, but I feel like in the Air Force, it was a lot more. Just a lot more people going through basic training, a lot more people in the barracks. You got women on the lower level, males on the higher level. You're in different squadrons, kind of at Lackland. Here, I know there's 2. There's Camp Pendleton and 1 on the East Coast as well for basic training. But I don't know if it was that small. Maybe it was just because it was a low-budget movie, and this is all he could have done. So he couldn't make it the vast scale that he wanted to. As well as the other negative thing is some of the scenarios can be a little bit disturbing, especially with the shower scene, and, has some themes to it where you're just like, oh, this is awkward. And then one storyline with him, as well as a drill sergeant who's going through some tough times with his family, and that dynamic, I feel like that was a little bit pushed. I understand why they did it, but it just took me out of the story a little bit, so it's hard for me to understand if that would actually occur and what that drill sergeant would do. But that drill sergeant, I mean, if that was true, he did the right thing to be like, yo, you're not the only gay person going through this. You're not the first. You're not the last. Get your shit together. We're all Marines here. So overall, the inspection, I will not lie, I was expecting to think this movie was going to be ho-hum. It was way, way better than what I was expecting. I'm going to have to apologize to the director. Yeah, the director is Elegance Bratton. So, yeah, I mean, good job on you. But, I mean, mother, you named your son Elegance. What do you expect? I don't want to be like, oh, that must mean that he's going to turn gay because you gave him a very feminine, like, Elegance type of name. But not saying that. But I'm saying the mother shouldn't be pissed off that his son turned gay at all. But this is a heartfelt story. It is great. Highly recommend finding it, even though I think it's only in 132 screens right now. So it might be hard to find it. Hopefully A24 does a special thing for it. But it is worth your time if you could find it. So the inspection will receive a 4.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 90%. Let's see what the critics' news scores gave this one. You have the critics at 87% with 102 of them. Audience score 93% with fewer than 50. Here's critic consensus. Although it's frustratingly clumsy in certain respects, the inspection is an effectively actor showcase in service of some truly worthy themes. I'm curious about the negatives. Like, why do they not like it? Okay, I'm reading some of these critics, and you could tell none of them has been through the military. None of them knows hardship of going through the Marines, going through just any boot camp whatsoever for 6 to 12 weeks at all, or 8 to 12 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks. I know it's very different between Coast Guard, Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, Space Force. It's very different. So you can just tell by these, user reviews that I don't think they understand the full story, what he was trying to say. I could be wrong. Maybe he's trying to say something completely different, but as a person seeing it, that's how I interpret the film. So we have the 90, the 93, 87. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think is Butantopia. You Butons think about it. Have a great day. And like I said, you just have a bunch of these critic people that really have never done any type of boot camp. Brainwashing, sensibility, masculinity itself. Like, what is wrong with being masculine? What is wrong? He was never going to be masculine, but it's not about masculinity to him. It is him trying to say, you know what? I need to get off the streets. It has nothing to do with being masculine at that point. Here's one. The ultimate goal of turning these young people into patriotic killing machines is framed as noble. Dude, Drew, you're a fucking tool. Fuck off. Because here's the thing. He says that. There is nothing. One went to do journalism. One went to do filmograph. One did infantry. That is what you do in the Air Force. What you do in the Marines. What you do. You're going to be a fighter pilot. You're going to have weapons. There was nothing. This movie had nothing to do with war. Literally fucking nothing. This is why critics, most of them are just fucking stupid.